What's going on, Tricology family, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. And we got a massive episode for you guys today with a lot of mainstream news to talk about. And also, we're going to be doing a movie review on one of my also anticipated movies of 2023 was The Flash. That's my second most anticipated. I originally had Ant-Man and the Wasp in Quantumanium, but that shit failed me. But so Across the Spider-Verse and The Flash were one of my most anticipated movies of 2023. So we're gonna be talking about The Flash in our review for today. Let's not waste time. Let's get started with our first mainstream news. Is that first off, a huge congratulations to the Denver Nuggets and the Vegas Golden Knights as they did defeat our Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers in our respective NBA Finals and Stanley Cup. So let me just say this. I am proud of not only the Heat and the Panthers of where they come. First off, with the Heat, they was the low 8th seed, and they defeat the odds at being the top of the East. I wanted to say this. I knew that coming into this, even if they do go to the finals, they was not going to beat the Denver Nuggets because they got a good team over there, and they swept the Lakers. They beat freaking Golden State. They beat all the like the history of rights itself. But let's not worry, man. Like we did, we had a good season, y'all. So I hopefully expect that we come back strong, and in the next season. We still to be proud of what we done. So at least we made it to the finals, and so I'm still proud of what my Heat that has accomplished this year. And same day goes for the Florida Panthers. And even though we still have no Stanley Cup championship under our belt, but I'm still proud of what they did too. But our Heat and Panthers we'll be back soon. But just keep y'all head up, guys, and let's see what adjustment that we can make into the next season. But keep your heads up, y'all. But other than that, a huge congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. They're finally out of the loop of finally winning their first championship. So they got one championship under their belt. And same day goes for the Vegas Golden Knights, becoming the fastest team that started at least like 5 years or so. I forgot when did they started their franchise, but I know they say they're the fastest team in franchise history to win the championship. So a huge congratulations to those both teams. MCU's Namor, or I like to say Namor, the actor, is accused of sexual assaults. Oh man, another Jonathan Majors situation. Here's a report from LA Times says, in a series of tweets, the saxophonist and activist called the Marvel actor a sexual predator while accusing him of sexually assaulting her. The Times had reached out to Reyes, in case she's a musician, which is named Maria Ellis Reyes. They reached out to her for more details on the allegations. Representatives from Tedra Harris, sorry if I pronounce his name, the Black Panther Wakanda, aka Namor's name, but representatives from the actor and Disney, which distribute Black Panther Wakanda Forever, did not respond last Sunday to the Times' request for comment. So I say this before and I'll say it again. Innocent until proven guilty. Now, if this man actually, if he really is a sexual predator and he allegedly sexually assaulted her, then put him in jail and fire him. But if he didn't do anything and that this girl is lying, let him go. So we need to see the real truth here. I'm not for guys sexually abusing women. I don't like that. But I don't like where people lying either. So we need to hear some truths. This is the same situation with the Jonathan Major situation. So we need to see the truth here. But like I said, if this man really did assault her, and if he is actually a really, and if he is a sexual predator, put him in jail and fire him. We can find a new Namor. I know it's going to be hard, but we'll see. Moving on. Netflix's controversial password cracking down is a huge success. So let's see what Variety has to say. On May 23rd, Netflix began notifying U.S. customers that users on their account who live outside of their households would need to be added as an extra member or get their own subscriptions. Since then, Netflix has had the 4 single largest days of the U.S. Users signing up since January 19th, when Asia first began the tracking the metrics. Sorry if I pronounced some words here, but based on the most current after data available, Netflix average daily signups reached through 73,000 from May 25th to the 28th, a 102 increase from the prior 60-day average. That was more than the spikes in subscription signups after recording during the inaugural U.S. COVID-19 lockdowns in March and April of 2020. So, yep, they doing some cracking down, man. So make sure you protect your account. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. Gladiator 2 said accidents hospitalized 6 crew members. So this is what Variety is saying. While filming a play stunt sequence while on set of Gladiator sequel, an accident occurred during which several crew members experienced a non-life-threatening injuries. A spokesman for Paramount Pictures, the studio behind the film, said in a statement, "The safety and full medical service teams on site were able to act quickly so that those who are impacted immediately receive necessary care. They are all in stable condition and continue to receive treatment." So that's good news there. So you always got to have a nearby hospital on site, and you always got to have first aid and all that stuff nearby as well. So just in case anything happens to a crew or a cast member, so that way they always be prepared, and that's always good. And that's what we need to too in the film as well. So we always got to be prepared. But continue on with the story. A total of 6 people received treatment, 4 of whom remain in the hospital. All of impacting crew members were treated by burn injuries. According to individuals with knowledge of the production, 2 other crew members were treated locally, then discharged. The accident occurs towards the end of the shooting day. No cast members were harmed. Okay, so yeah, that was good there. At least no cast members. But that was just in case if anything happens. But at least everyone's it's okay at the matter. So I hope everyone else are good and released from the hospital. Okay, so like I said, injuries can happen. So you just gotta be prepared for anything. So At least they're okay. So hopefully they'll be in good condition. Moving on. Golden Globes sold a HFPA shutdown. Let's see what Deadline has to say. Dick Club Productions and El Ridge said Monday morning that they would have acquired all of the Golden Globes assets, rights, and properties from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, turning the Hollywood Award show into a commercial enterprise. As a result, HLPA and its membership, who has handed out the awards, will shutter. With proceeds of the transaction and existing resources of the HFMF, the new owners will launch the Golden Globe Foundation that will carry on the FPA's entertainment-related charitable giving. Let's see if this news is going to affect anything that has to do with the Golden Globes. Moving on. Sony sends Fit Audio Spider-Verse copies to the theaters. I didn't recognize there was some audio problems. Maybe this probably happened at other theaters or like other states. But let's read this report. After fans report that sound mixing issues in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Sony Pictures has sent an updated version of the film to movie theaters. The complaints were mainly targeted at low audience levels during the introduction scene in the animated Spider sequel, which centered on a Haley Stanford Spider-Woman character Gwen Stacy. Okay, so at least they noticed the part. I don't know what kind of format it happened, so at least the studio heard the complaints, so they could kind of fix the issues, which is a good thing. So so that way the audience can have a better experience watching the movie. So that was a good thing. So we got our first couple of movies have been shifted and delayed news. We'll get into more in a second. So let's start with the Avatar franchise. So Avatar 3 has been delayed a year. Is anyone surprised at that? So everybody saying, "Oh, Avatar 3 is going to be released next year," but I don't believe that. But here are the new dates for Avatar 3, 4, and 5. So Avatar 3 was intended to open next year, December, but it is now going to be released on the December 19th, 2025. Then Avatar 4 will be released on December 21st, 2029, and then Avatar 5 on December 19th, 2031. So that's going to be very interesting with these new shift dates. But those were the only movies that got new shift dates, and we'll get to more in a second. But moving on to our next bit of news, Ezra Miller makes his first comment at the Flash premieres, taking no questions. So here's a report coming from Variety. Says Miller made a big show of acknowledgement. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, Warner Brothers Film Group head Michael DeLucas, and Pan Abadi and DC Studios stewards James Gunn and Peter Safran for your grace and discouragement and care in the context of my life and in bringing this moment into fruition. So we all got all our opinions on Ezra Miller with all the crazy stuff he did, but we do acknowledge the fact that he does know how to pull out a great character in the Flash, and we'll talk more about the Flash when we do our movie review. But yeah, we've been talking about this for a while now, like how Ezra Miller is gonna add or if he's gonna take questions when they do the red carpet or the premiere and all that other stuff. So it sounds like they figured that stuff out what they wanted to do. So that was good. Continue on. with the movie shift dates news. So Deadpool 3 is going to be releasing even sooner than you expect. So it was intended to be released on November 8th of 2024. Now, it got moved up, moving on up to the spring, or should I say, in the movie world case, beginning of the summer of next year. So it's now going to be released on May 3rd, 2024. So that is definitely some good news there. All right, all right, all right. Moving on. Daredevil production shut down again. Well, this is not no good news here, but let's read what Deadline has to say. Filming on Disney Plus, Daredevil Born Again has been shut down again. Sources tell Deadline the new season of Marvel series was supposed to shoot at a New York home base of Silver Cup East, which has been man-picking location for striking WGA members. Man, if you in a certain area where the writing strike happening, you ain't gonna get things done. I'm sorry. And I'm gonna say this, I might have said it before, but I'm gonna say it now. Please pay your writers. That's all I'm gonna say. Just pay your writers so we can get this thing over with. But continue on with the story. Production on the revival was previously shut down by Sunrise picking outside of the Silver Cup East on May 8th, where members of the team lister Local 817 and IATASE Locals 829 and 52 refused to cross the line. It was then suspended for the rest of the week. Man, this is crazy. And when is this series supposed to come out? 2024? Man, I won't be surprised if we hear a new shift date on that one. And speaking of shift dates, continue on with our movie release shift dates. Disney's live-action Moana remake will now be released on June 27, 2025. So we already said that that the original actress that voices Moana will not be playing Moana, but she is going to be wearing the producer hat, along with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who is going to be reprising his role as Maui. So that's going to be very interesting. Who they cast for to play as Moana. And then the new Alien movie, this was intended to go to streaming, but now it will get a theatrical release, and that will be released on August 16th, 2024. So they ain't going to go the route that they did with Prey, which was a Predator movie. So they're not going to go that route. They're going to go with a theatrical route. So that's going to be very interesting. And then we got Captain America Brave New World will now be released on July 26, 2024. So that's going to be after Deadpool 3. Then the Thunderbolts has been delayed to December 20th, 2024. So close around Christmas time. So at least we're getting 3 MCU movies. Deadpool 3, Captain America, now, and Thunderbolts. So at least we're getting 3 next year for 2024. Blade has been delayed to February 14th, 2025. So on Valentine's Day. So that's going to be very interesting. The Fantastic Four has been delayed to May 2nd, 2025. So Fantastic Four will be kicking off the 2025 summer season there. So, but we're still waiting on who are they going to cast in the Fantastic Four team. So we're still waiting on that. Avengers, the Kane Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars has now been delayed to May 26th and May 27th. So The Kane Dynasty will be released on May 26th, and Secret Wars will be released on May 27th. So that's coming out of the Marvel news. And then I think we have one more. Oh, yeah. So that's all the Marvel stuff. So as far as Star Wars, we're getting 3 new movies. So they just got their release date. One is going to be released on May 2022, 2026. And then the second one's going to be released on December 18th, 2026. So we're getting 2 Star Wars movies on that same year. And then the third one is going to be released on December 17th, 2027. So, and then one of those movies is supposed to be focused on Rey. I don't know what the other 2 is going to be. So it's going to be very interesting what they're going to do there. And I think that's all the new movie ship dates. All I have. I probably have more, but we'll see how it goes as we continue on with the mainstream news. The live action Bambi has been announced with Oscar-winning filmmaker. So let's read what Deadline has to say. After winning Best Adapted Screenplay in the Oscars for Women Talking, Sarah Paulin is on the most epic undertaking of her film career thus far, as Deadline understands that the filmmaker is in talks to have held a live-action take on Bambi and was in early development. Wow. Man. I guess I told y'all that Disney's going to remake everything, but yeah, like I said before, when it comes to these Disney live-action remakes, it's either going to be a hit or a miss. But I think the question is, will Bambi going to be released in theaters, or is this going to be straight to Disney Plus? That's the real question there. And if this thing is going to be good or not. But all I got to say is, when they show that scene when Bambi's mom get killed, oh my God, you better get your tissues ready. I don't think nobody's ready for that. If you think the animated version was crazy, oh my God. Live action is going to be worse. Moving on. Blue Beetle has been officially announced as the first character of the new DCU. So James Gunn said, I mean, the first DCU character for sure is Blue Beetle, but the first full DCU movie is Superman in Superman Legacy. Gunn said on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast that was released last Tuesday. So the Blue Beetle is actually a canon. This Blue Beetle was supposed to be a DCEU movie. So I think this is supposed to be. I think they're going to do the canon route where Blue Beetle is now going to be a part of the DCU timeline now. But with everything has changed in the Flash, so Blue Beetle will be part of the DCU, but the Superman Legacy will be the first official DCU movie. So we should expect to see Blue Beetle more in the DCU. So, but I still can't wait to see Blue Beetle because your boy was there and worked on it. Moving on. Zazie B, who played at Domino in Deadpool 2, is officially not in Deadpool 3. What? Let's read this report. During the red carpet premiere of Steven Spielberg's upcoming Matt series Full Circle at the Tribeca Film Festival, Beast was asked if the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike was affecting Ryan Reynolds' ability to improv on the set of the new film. Well, actually, I'm not in Deadpool 3, so I don't know what they are doing. about improvements. I'm assuming they probably take a pause. I am excited to watch it, she told Decisive. So, man, they might pull a swerve and tell her she might be in it out of that. I don't know, but I know Deadpool 3 will mostly focus on the team up with Deadpool and Wolverine. So I don't know. They might pull a swerve. She might be telling us that even she's saying she's not in it, but she might be in it, maybe in a cameo or something. I don't know, but that's crazy. Moving on. Peacemaker 2 is officially happening at the Superman Legacy. So, let's read this report. Speaking on the Inside of You podcast, James Gunn shared a little on how Peacemaker will fit into already incredibly busy DCU schedule that includes 5 films, 5 shows of its own. He said, Peacemaker is coming back right after I do Superman. That is the next thing. Gunn said plainly, I'm going straight into Peacemaker from Superman. So after he's finishing doing the Superman Legacy, then he will focus on Peacemaker because he is directing Superman Legacy. So right after he's done directing that, then he's probably going to direct a couple episodes of Peacemaker. I know he's going to be producing the rest of the DCU movie and shows, but we don't know if he's going to be directing the rest of them. So we just have to wait and see when Peacemaker is going to be happening. Well, they say it is happy. I meant to say when they're going to start shooting. That's what I meant to say. But moving on, we got a couple of early reactions for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny after they did their world premiere. So let's read this first report. This is coming from Joey Perry, and he says, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was one hell of a ride, wild and adventurous. It was an absolute blast. So we got our first positive reaction here. Let's read our next one. This one's coming from Jeff at Eastwing, and he says, Indiana Jones is firmly in the middle of the Jones pack for me. It's on target with its course themes, but lacks surprise and magic of Indiana Jones at its best. There are some key elements that fundamentally did not work in terms of plot logic. Still fun to see Ford punch some Nazis again. So this one's kind of a positive mixed reviews here. So at least he went with his critic route here. So going to the next one says, coming from Courtney Howard, says, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny stinks. Follow a Marvel-ish pattern of chasing the MacGuffin's pieces that forms a powerful doohickey down. In between, layers of the poor caliber development and no thrills of expression until it was way too late. Poor pacing makes it a bore. So we got our first negative here. And continue on. This one coming from Lee Travis saying, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a solid entry into the franchise. Do not let the inaugural festival's reviews scare you away from this film. Too much de-aging use, less is more. And the runtime needs to be trimmed. But overall, very much enjoyed. So we got another positive but mixed review here. So that's a good thing here. And moving on. This one coming from Simon Trevor, and he says, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is underwhelming. It lacks the magic, energy, and excitement from previous entries, especially the first 3 films, and largely feels somewhat persuasion. Its journey rather than an adventure, and the third act review is sadly done meh. So this one definitely is a mix to a negative review there. And then our last one we got here says, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is believably shot pulsary adventures like Raiders with the heart, humor, and challenge of belief of the Last Crusade. A fitting entry and ending to a franchise. Fans of Indy will enjoy the ride. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. This baby moves. So we got another positive here. So Indiana Jones has been getting a lot of positives and mixed reviews here. So that's why I kind of expect to see. So I can't wait to see this movie come out on June 30th. So and I'll definitely take a look at myself because I'm definitely going to be doing my review on that too as well. Moving on. The Flash opening weekend box office projections does not look good. Let's see what Deadline had to say. Despite a very good response out of the CinemaCon and DC co-boss James Gunn, exclaiming that this pick is probably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, along with reports on how the movie is ready to reset the DC verse. The Flash has been sitting around 70 million through 75 million on tracking for quite some time right now. Well, we just gotta wait and see how they do, not only on open night but also during the weekend. But we'll see how they do. Moving on, Ant-Man 3 documentary goes missing. Ultimates the Jonathan Majors situation. So let's read our report here. Disney confirmed in May that Marvel Studios assemble the making of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium was set to debut on Disney Plus on Wednesday, June 14, 2023. Yet the behind-the-scenes special did not appear on Disney Plus as expected today, indicating a delay in this release. As of now, a new release date has not been announced. So I know that they're not going to announce this thing until the whole Jonathan Major situation has been finished. So that's my initial thought. I can't tell you much more about that. Moving on, the Flash director has been officially announced as the director for Batman, the Brave and the Bold. So it's official, y'all. Andy Muschietti is going to the Batcave ahead of the release of his superhero movie, The Flash. Muschietti has decided to keep his feet firmly in the land of DC. Muschietti finally has finalized a deal to direct The Brave and the Bold, a feature project that will introduce a new big screen version of Batman, one that will fit into the expanded universe being developed by DC Studios head James Gunn and Peter Safran. So we're also going to see the Damian Wayne version of Robin. So this is going to be the first Batman and Robin on screen since the I'm sorry, yo. The Batman and Robin. I'm sorry, yo. I literally choked up every time we say that because I know we not supposed to say that, but I had to give you some history facts there. I'm sorry. So sorry if I get choked up on that, but I just got to give y'all history fact there. But even though we're not supposed to be talking about, but I hope that they do the justice right with Batman and Robin on screen together. Moving on, Barbie is said to beat Oppenheimer in the opening weekend, says projections. So they're betting on Barbie is going to beat Oppenheimer during the head-to-head competition on July 21st. But let's hear what Hollywood Report has to say now. At time, most analysts did not give the contest between the two films much thought, considering that a Barbie movie has outlets in development for years before moving from Sony to Warner Brothers. But in most months, the film has turned into a social media phenomenon. Primary tracking indicates that Barbie will win the July 21st and 23rd weekend ahead of Oppenheimer, according to sources with access varying in the polls of service. So, let me break this down for you guys. So, the week before, when Barbie and Oppenheimer come out, you got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So, Barbie and Oppenheimer is basically going to fight to see if they're going to knock out Mission Impossible out of the number one box office spot. And then they do that, then the competition is really going to start to see who's going to take that number one spot and who's going to take number two. But in all reality, someone's got to be in the third spot. That's all I'm saying. So, even though we're looking at as a one-on-one here, it's basically a triple threat match. As I'm looking at this thing right now. But, we'll see, y'all. We will definitely see. Continue on with the news. For Oppenheimer, a rated R 3-hour drama that is targeting adults, having less that to prove far more important than its opening weekend halt. Yet, there is no delays. There is no denying that the filmmakers care deeply about a film's theatrical performance and topped the charts in its first weekend. Nolan came in number 2 before, in 2014's Interstellar, behind Disney's Big Hero 6, on its way to $701.7 million globally. So, Barbie is more the is mostly for the fans, and Oppenheimer is mostly for the filmmakers. So I kind of understand where they're going from there. But Matt Damon said before, you guys can see both in one weekend. So that shows like a true spokesman there. So, and I ain't even done a poll there. Like, what would you guys rather see first? Y'all would see Barbie first, or y'all would see Oppenheimer first, or y'all want to do a double header? So that's up to y'all. So, but like I said, we'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen. But moving on. Legend of Zelda movie and Illumination implies they are not involved. Let's read what this report has to say. I don't know where that came from. The Illumination producer says about the Legend of Zelda report. I mean, I can understand how people will be submerged of all sorts of things, but obviously, we had a great experience working together. My relationship with Nintendo now includes being on their board of directors, so I understand how people can submerge these things. But in terms of Pacifics, that is just something I have been hearing a lot of reports. That is just about what's next between Nintendo and Illumination. So, I don't know. Now that I'm reading this report, so if the Illumination is not going to do it, who's going to be the studio behind it? Is it going to be DreamWorks? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And then last report, and I knew I still had one more movie with ship release dates. I knew I had one more. So, two new Sony and Marvel projects release date has been announced as well. So, Sony just had reversed their dates for the upcoming Sony Marvel movies. The first one is for November 8th, 2024 and June 27th, 2025. Both have access to IMAX screens. So let's let's speculate these dates. One of them could be Venom 3 and the other one could be Spider-Man 4. So I'm guessing Venom 3 is going to be released in 2024 and Spider-Man 4 is going to be released in 2025 because we are already getting Beyond the Spider-Verse in 2024. So it makes no sense to do both at the same time, especially with the writer's strike still going on. So yeah, so that's my predictions there. But continue on with the story. Currently, there is nothing against a Sony Marvel movie on November 8th on the November 8th date. Universal had an untitled event film on November 1st, and Warner Brothers had an untitled tentpole on November 15th with Paramount's Gladiator 2 on November 22nd. But Sony said they would be going head to head with an untitled Blumhouse movie that is also going to be released on the same date as the new live action take on Moana. So that's going to be very interesting there. But that's all the mainstream news I have for you guys today. So let's get into the big thing that we have on tap, and that's our movie review on The Flash. So, as you guys already know, this movie has been on development hell, but we finally got it. So, of course, this was directed by Andy Muschietti, and of course, we see Ezra Miller playing as the Flash. So we saw the return of Michael Keaton playing as Batman, and then we got Sasha Calle as Supergirl. So, in the movie, Barry traveled back in time to prevent his mother's death, which also brings unintentional consequences. Man, where do I start? So, to me, this is DC's version of No Way Home and Across the Spider-Verse. If you look at the certain scenes, even when you watch the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. But man, other than that, the plot was good. The action scene was good. I love the funny and humors. And I think Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton had the best. They had the best performance here, and I like the concept that this being a multiverse. That they originally was going to name this movie Flashpoint, so they still kept the multiverse route. So yeah. The only thing I had one problem with this movie was with some of the scenes, some of the CGI scenes, and some of the visual effects was good, and then some of them felt like very cartoonish-ish. Like you could tell like which scenes are shot in green screen and stuff like that. And of course, we see two variants of Barry. So you got the original Barry, and then you got the other time, the alternate universe of Barry. So this other Barry, like that dude was so annoying at times. I'm sorry. Like, oh my God. Jesus Christ. But I wish they had for Supergirl, I wish they had more backstory on her. That's my other issue there. I wish we had more backstory on Supergirl. But other than that, she was really good, man, in this movie. And when I look at this Supergirl compared to the CW slash Arrowverse version of Supergirl, this one was kind of more serious than the CW version of Supergirl. If you watch the movie and see like what happened to her compared to what happened to the other Supergirl, so you'll get what I'm talking about. And and to see Michael Keaton back as Batman again, like everyone was clapping when he said the words, "Yeah, I'm Batman." Everyone was clapping their butts off. Like even when he looked like old man Bruce, he still could kick butt, man. Like, oh my God, like, but even though this was still this was not only a goodbye to Ben Affleck's Batman, but also this was also a send off for Michael Keaton's Batman as well. So yeah, like I said before, the tide is changing. So we are get like I said, the Flash is gonna wipe out the DC extended universe and gonna move on to the new DC, which is the DCU. So there's a lot of things that might confuse you. There's a lot of things that might like go like, what? And you have to like, and after you come out of the movie, you're gonna be watching the YouTube videos that kind of like explain what happened, like how did this gonna affect the universe, like all that stuff. That's what's gonna happen. Because man, I have a lot of questions and answers myself after I watch this movie. But let me just say this. When the early reviewers got to watch this film, they were saying it's the best DC film since Dark Knight. Let me tell you something. That is absolute bull. Okay? Nothing, and I mean nothing, will ever top The Dark Knight. Because look at the two directors, from Christopher Nolan and to Andy Muschietti. Just study those directors, and you see what I'm talking about. But other than that, this was still a great, funny, fun DC film to watch. And this is definitely one of DC extended users, the DCU's best films today. Because on the top tier list, I have Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the first Shazam, Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League, and James Gunn's the Suicide Squad that I put as also Man of Steel. Those are the ones I put as the best top tier DC extended universe movies. So yeah, but it's not great as The Dark Knight, but it was still a great DC movie to watch and over and over. So yeah, I give this movie 8 out of 10, 3.5. I give it a B plus grade. That's what I'm giving this movie. So yeah, definitely a fun movie to watch. But And like I said, this is the end of an era for the DC EU, and moving on to the DCU. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. And let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts and opinions. And don't forget to watch, if you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when new episodes are uploaded. And of course, if you listen to me on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast streaming platform, don't forget to follow me there as well. But other than that, this is Trico, and I'm signing off, y'all. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Peace.